Good morning. It is Monday, October 7th. It is not my week to vlog, but I will get out of the habit of doing it if I don't. So I'm doing it anyway, and then you'll just get a bonus vlog from Gaps. Also because I've had an epiphany on what I want to do for December. So let's see. Whip check in. I'm probably going to run out of colors for my Protest is Patriotic shawl, which is fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to probably run out of the blue and the purple for my pride flag, but that's okay. The goal was to use up yarn, so as much yarn as I can use up would be awesome. I went back and forth on what I wanted to use for the blue and the purple because I didn't really love anything, and then I'm considering making myself like a pride chicken, like a Protest is Patriotic chicken, and like make the tail the rainbow and then stripe it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet because I'm kind of running out of blue. Like there's like not that much blue left in stash or what have you, but I'll figure it out. Maybe the tail will be blue and red and white striped, and then the rest of the chicken will be a pride chicken instead of the other way around. But I'm really liking the shawl. It's speeding along. I'm about a third of the way through because it says I should have 31 stripes and I have 10, so plus the star section, which granted the rows are getting bigger, so we'll see how it works. But it's a super easy, super mindless project, and I'm really liking it. My design is so close to being done. I have maybe like 7 rows left on it, so there's that, and that would be awesome because I'm really kind of over it. I worked a little bit on my scrappy blanket. It's my Hexy scrappy blanket. I'm listening to the geese overhead. I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty good. I like to do it on Scrappy Sunday. I know the Crazy Sock Lady used to do Scrappy Sunday videos, but I don't think she does that anymore. But I still try and work a little bit on my Scrappy projects every Sunday just to get some work done on them, which means my magic knot ball for my sister is growing. If you're new to our channel, Chaylee and I make magic knot balls for each other and then swap them on usually Christmas, and then we cast on a blanket on January 1st. We did that last year, loved it, and now we're gonna do it again. So it's a really fun time. I enjoy it, Chaylee enjoys it, plus we get to kind of like go through what the other person knit for the year or made or crocheted for the year, so that's pretty cool. What else? Let me think. My epiphany. I don't have a single advent calendar coming this December, and I don't really want to gain any more yarn. But when I was cleaning out my yarn pile of doom yesterday, I noticed that I had a bunch of kits. So I think I'm going to do Kitmas, right? Christmas, but Kitmas, and do all of my like kits and mystery things in the month of December so that I can use them up, because kits are like my favorite thing to have and to knit with. So I think I'd rather have that, and maybe I'll package them up so I can't see what they are because I've got a bunch of empty bags, and like tag them for what week I want to work on them. So it's like a little advent, and if I do it now, then I probably won't remember what they are, so that could be really fun. So maybe I'll do that and then move forward with that, and that will be my advent but not advent swap with myself, I guess, advent calendar. I think there's going to be an advent swap. There's a Christmas Eve box swap that we do, and I just signed up to do it again. So it'll be my 3rd year. It's been super fun. But it doesn't seem like I haven't heard of that many mini swaps this year. Last year we did 2, and mine went great, but maybe they didn't go great, maybe for the organizer, so they don't want to like deal with the hassle of it. which I understand, but mine were really fun. So we're not organizing one because, like I said, December is a crazy time for us, and even leading up to it, November, Taylor's traveling all the time, so it's not a good time for us to organize those things. So yes, but anyway, today, ooh, the train. Today it's already warm. It's supposed to be another scorcher, 98 degrees. I swear it will cool off at some point. It's not normally this hot in California in October. Maybe it is because climate change, but it's super hot. We're going on a week of basically above 95 degrees every single day, which is out of the norm for us. Our hot spells or heat spells only usually last 3 to 4, 5 days. This one's a long one. But hopefully it's finally climbing down, and that will be good. So we're going to the pumpkin patch today, and then that's actually the only thing we have planned today. Because Lottie is off of school, I am off of school, and tomorrow is busy though. My youngest has to go to preschool, and Lottie has to do school. So maybe I won't see you tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, gotta run. Bye. Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 8th, and I'm out on another morning run. It is allegedly going to be finally cooler today and only about 90 degrees. Yesterday we topped out at 104. So it was really hot. None of us really wanted to do anything. We got out the splash pad at like 6 o'clock when the sun had finally gone down, and the girls just splashed around for like an hour and a half, so they got to play until the sun went down, and then that was kind of it. But I finished my design, woven in the ends, finished all the parts, all of the finishing, everything is done. So I'm so excited to be done with it. I tried it on. It's so cute. So cute. But the unfortunate thing is I mail it to the company that I work for, and then, oh, train alarm, or train horn. I mail it to the company that I work for, and then they keep the samples because I think they take them on trunk shows, so I don't get to have it. So if I want it, I have to make another one. But this one took me a solid, I want to say 6 to 7 weeks. I got it end of August, and now it's October 7th, so I got around maybe like the 20th of August, and this was like consistent work on it every single day. I was like pushing to work on it. So I don't think I'll make another one just because it was so much work. It's really cute. It would be a great like year-long project. I think it would definitely be if you could go at your own pace. It's definitely less than some of the larger projects I've done, but it was honestly the deadline. The deadline was what was making it a little bit untenable, but that's okay. I agreed to it. So there are a couple other, good morning. There are two other projects I'm working on. I'm working on my Protest is Patriotic shawl. It's really slowing down because of the way the pattern is written. Like, I'm getting to bigger and bigger rows, so it's taking me longer and longer to get to the new stripe, but I'm thinking it's going pretty well. I'm thinking I'm about halfway through. It, so I'm basically just gonna keep knitting until I run out of red yarn, because that's the one that, like, I've got oodles of white. I've got like 7 skeins of white and maybe like 50 grams of red, so just gonna keep knitting until I run out of red, and then that's the size it's gonna be. I'm gonna add another set of rainbow in as well, because I want to use up as much of the rainbow colors as I can. And then I picked up my chicken that I haven't been working on in ages, and it's just a scrappy chicken trying to burn through some stash. But so chickens don't take that long, so I'm hoping I can kind of alternate between the chicken and the rainbow, my Protest is Patriotic shawl, and I do have another design that I'm supposed to be working on. which, oh shoot, it uses the same needles as my Protest is Patriotic shawl, and I think I only have one set of needles. It's US 3s. That should be interesting. Okay, so I'll look around, see if I have a second set of 3s. If not, it's just a push to finish my Protest is Patriotic shawl before I start my design, or to start another design, because I have 2 that I am intending to work on. Let's see. I think that's it. My stashing down is going actually pretty good. I'm at 391 skeins in stash. If you recall, I started September with 424. So I've really made a significant dent in stash, and I feel really good about it because my goal is to be under 350. That's my goal. So yeah. Oh, I am caking up the yarn for my next design. But the yarn is shedding, and it's just a superwash merino, I think, but it's naturally dyed as opposed to like acid dyes. And it's completely shedding. Like when I wound it up, I had my phone, like my ball winder is here and my Swift is here. My phone was like here because I was watching TV, and it like, as the yarn was going over my phone, it dropped all of this red pigment all over my phone and like all over my desk and all over my arm. So there's like pigment everywhere. So I don't usually use naturally dyed stuff, so maybe that's just the nature of natural dyed yarn, but I have pigment everywhere, and like I can feel the pigment in the yarn. Like it feels like dirt in the yarn. So I'm not sure how to go about it when I knit it. Yeah, because that doesn't sound that fun. And honestly, it feels really crunchy. So I don't know. I do need to knit with it, which is probably why I've been like procrastinating knitting with it, because it's, what is it? What do people say? It doesn't have a good hand. It feels crunchy and dirty. So it's not that, ooh, you want to swish it and knit with it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll soften as you knit with it. Kind of like acrylic gets more drapey after you're done, but like it's legitimately like rough on my hands. I can't describe it other than like when you get your hands wet and then you're on the beach and you've got really fine sand on your hands, and then it's like you would try to knit with sandy hands without washing them off. So I don't know. Good thing this project is small. All right, gotta run. Got stuff to do with the kids. Going to preschool today. Good morning. It is Friday, October 11th. It is sadly my last day of break. I do have the weekend, but then I am back to the grind on Monday, which next week is a super busy week. So I'm like, shoot, this would have been a better week to vlog because I just have the band concert and PTO meetings and a performance for my drama class. So it's just a lot, but that's all right. Such is life. I'm out for my morning run. The temperatures have totally turned. It was 104 at the beginning of this week, and now it's only supposed to be like 75 at the peak today. So I'm actually in a jacket because it's kind of chilly in the morning, which San Jose never really has temperate weather. It's like super, super hot, or it's already starting to get chilly. There's no middle, which is kind of annoying, but definitely not the worst thing in the world. So let's talk about some of my whips. I finished nothing yet, but I am making really good progress on my whips. So I have my Protest is Patriotic shawl, and I've decided I'm going to interrupt the red, white, and blue stripe, or the red and white stripes with the pride flag, but I'm going to do it multiple times because I'm running out of yarn. I'm running out of red yarn, so I'm wanting to make the shawl bigger, and the only way I can think of to do that is to add more of the rainbow colors, which I actually really like, and they're coming out super cute. So it's a good plan. My goal is to do like 2 stripes a day, and then I should be done in time for the election, because my goal is to wear it on election day. So that's the goal with that. I think it's coming along. It's coming along nice. I'm excited for it. I am working on a chicken. I forgot how much I like making chickens. It's so fun. I love making chicken, and it's fast, and it's a great stash buster. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm stash busting with my chicken. So I really like making chickens, and I'm really happy to not be crocheting for a design, but crocheting because I want to. I picked up my design because I made a huge oopsie on one of my, I have another design too, coming out. The deadline, okay, so I thought the deadline was January 3rd and March 3rd. That's not true. The deadline is November 3rd and January 3rd. And I was like, those aren't the same thing. Shoot. So it's a fairly quick project. So I've already finished one of the 2. If you've been around with us a while, you probably can guess what the one of the 2 is. I'm already on the cuff of the second one. So that's going good, going fast. The yarn is giving me drama because, as my sister says, how do you hurt yourself with yarn? Easily, ma'am. It's a pretty like rustic yarn. And it's got like, I think I heard MC of Blame the Knots refer to it as BM, so biological matter. Basically, it's got plants in it. It's got plants in the yarn, and it's like straw and like weeds and stuff and like little burr thingamajigs. So as it's running across my hand, because I knit Continental, I think. I'm a picker, not a thrower. It's running over my hands, and then the biomatter is like running over my fingers and creating little like abrasions. The yarn itself is pretty rustic, and the dye, as I use the yarn, is breaking down and breaking out of the yarn. So I've got like all this stuff on my hands when I'm knitting, which is kind of crazy because I've got like dye pigment and plants and a yarn that's kind of a more toothy yarn. Anyway, the stitch definition on the yarn is awesome. It looks beautiful, but I'm like, what's happening? What's happening with the yarn? So I don't know. Fortunately, it's a fast knit. I'm gonna see how it works out once I block it. I think it might be like acrylic, that once you like wet it and give it a good soak, it'll relax and the drape will be what we want it to be, I'm hoping. So I'm also frantically trying to finish my chicken before Monday, because there is a crochet along, a blanket crochet along that I want to start, and it's made by Guti, I think is how you would say her name. Yes, it's the Tranquility blanket. It's a free crochet along, and it's all stripes, and then you kind of just, you get it's not a mystery, you see what's coming, but it's a little choose your own adventure, because she gives you like 12 stripes and you only need 10. So I want to start that on Monday, because I think that would be really fun, and I really don't like falling behind on things. So I'm gonna do that and see how that goes. Yeah, so I'm frantically trying to finish my chicken so I don't have another crochet project on the hooks, and then trying to finish a couple of my knitting projects for the same reason, so I can really like focus on it and like be locked in on it. Today, me and the girls are going to Bloom Bagels in Campbell, which is stuffed bagels, and they're delicious, and I love them so much. They're kind of expensive, but that's okay, and I'm very excited. Each month they do different flavors, I guess. They have a classic, but this month they have pumpkin, of course, because it's October. Pumpkin, and they've got a miso which maple miso, which sounds interesting. They've got strawberry, which sounds really great. So I'm gonna check them all out. It's gonna be kind of our meal for the rest of the day because it's like a half an hour drive. So if we're gonna go, might as well get a bunch of bagels. And they open they have very limited hours. They open at like 8:30, and then they're open until they sell out, which they do sell out a lot. So I think I'm gonna try and order online because I don't want to truck my kids all the way to Campbell and then them not have the bagels. I've also started a new challenge for myself, which involves me wanting to buy yarn, but me needing to limit the amount of yarn coming into my stash. So the new challenge is for every mile that I exercise, which could be walking, so this is counting, every mile that I exercise, I get $1. And then when I have enough monies, I can buy the yarn. What I think I want to get is the TL Yarn Crafts and Hobie Advent Calendar collab, and that is $119. But I play Hobby Bingo every week, and that you get a 10% off coupon, so then you get $11 off. So that is, oh math, like $108. So that means I have to run 108 miles before I can do it. So yeah, it's 3 miles a day for a month. So realistically, probably 2 months. And I'm not counting like just like walking around like throughout my day. I'm only counting when I exercise. So I actually have to remember to wear my little tracker thing because I always forget. That's my goal. Che and I are doing a 10,000 step challenge in November. So if you want to jump in with us, do that. There's no prizes, there's nothing. You just literally try and walk 10,000 steps a day in November, and we hold each other accountable. Not even anything other than you don't want to lose to your sister, so you commit to the steps every day. We do May miles every year. We've done it 2 years in a row, and it's great. It's nice to have like a running buddy. Yeah, so I think that's all my updates. I'm off to run my 1 mile so I can get $1 because I want to buy my thing. All right, see you soon. All right, it is Monday, October 14th. I forgot it was my day to vlog for Vlogtober. I have unfortunately caught a cold from my daughter Eleanor. So this morning was a blur. I wasn't feeling super great. I went to work, but I did mask all day. So it's just it's a less fun day when I'm teaching with my mask on, but I've somehow run through all of the cold symptoms in like 24 hours. Like I had the sore throat, I was feverish this morning, I had like the runny nose in the middle of the day, and then I had congestion, and now it's like kind of in my throat. So I'm hoping that it was just like a really fast 24-hour cold, which I've fortunately had before. I don't know if my body, it's just like, it's a rhinovirus that my body's already seen, so it kind of knows how to respond to it, or I don't know, I just got lucky. So hopefully that's the case. Sorry, you're on week 2 of watching the Slip Sisses get sick. But that's the plan. I'm headed home now. What do I have going on for today? I'm trying to finish my Protest is Patriotic shawl and starting the Tranquility crochet along, which is made by Guti. I think, I'm so sorry. I should try and watch and see if she's got a YouTube video to see how she says her name. But yes, that's the plan. I am, as you can tell my voice, not that sick, but hopefully gonna go to bed super early tonight and be like 85% tomorrow. I was like 65 to 70 today. So hopefully I'm better. Hopefully this was just a 24-hour thing. All right, talk to you later. Good morning. It is October 15th. I can't believe the month is flying by. This month always feels super speedy, probably because I'm on October break, but not anymore, but I was on October break, so it felt like summer again. So there's that. But I'm out on my morning run. I'm feeling a little bit better. So I'm hoping it was a quick kind of cold, but I'm not going very far just in case it wasn't and I get tired. I find for myself, obviously this is not medical advice, that when I'm feeling slightly better and I go running, and like get my heart rate up a little bit, my cold, I get a little better, a little bit faster from my colds, but that's just me. So let's check in on some updates. Chaylee's vlog is hilarious. I've been watching it. I did pull the Poultry Palooza prize winners last week. I know it took me like a month. I'm so sorry. I just got distracted. I pulled those. So if you're waiting to hear on that, both have responded to me. So I pulled those prize winners. I finished my Protest is Patriotic shawl last night. I just ran out of red yarn and bound off, and it fits just fine. It's like a little neckerchief situation, and that's great. And I used up a bunch of yarn. I'm at 381 skeins of yarn and stash, which is actually really good because I started, let's see, I started September 1st with 424. So that's good. It's about 43 skeins of yarn that's gone out of stash. I'm feeling really good about it. I wasn't feeling so good about it over the summer, but I'm doing a lot better now, so I feel better. I wrote up my patterns I'm writing up the patterns for my designs. Those should be done within a few days. And I started the Tranquility Blanket crochet along, which is it's a free crochet along. I think it's not a blog hop, but it feels kind of like a blog hop. So it's like a 12 pieces, 12 I guess parts, where each designer like contributed a like block to it. I guess they're stripes, contributed a stripe to it, and they come out every Monday and Thursday. And then half of them are hosted by the Loophole Fox on her blog, and then half are hosted by Agat. I looked at her videos. I looked at her videos, but she doesn't introduce herself in the first couple that I saw, so I'm like, shoot. And it's made by Goody. But if you know how to pronounce her name, please let me know. I apologize. I did do my due diligence this time and looked on YouTube at the beginning of her YouTube videos to see if she introduced herself. Most of her YouTube videos are tutorials, so she just jumps right into the tutorial, which is fine. I cast on a little bit less than the cast on, or I guess chained on the cast on amount, because who's surprised? My gauge was too big. And second, who's surprised? I don't have enough yarn. I'm supposed to have like 1,700 yards, and I have like 800 yards of yarn. So I'm just going with it, and it's stripes, so I'll just stop when I run out of yarn, because I wasn't buying more yarn for this blanket. I will say finding the pattern for the clues is a little bit challenging, because it's hosted on a blog, so you kind of have to navigate around, and there's a lot of ads and you can't download it, but the pattern is free. So that's how they're recouping it, is that you are using a blog, so you have to constantly go back to the blog for the pattern so that they're getting the ad revenue, which is fine. So just know that going into it. You also can buy the ebook with obviously ad-free, that kind of thing, if that's what you're interested in. Once I figured it out, it was fine, but it was a little confusing at first. But most free patterns that aren't just free downloads on Ravelry are a little bit confusing on people's blogs because there's a lot of ads on them, but that's how the designer makes money. So just know that going into it. The next clue drops on Thursday morning. They drop 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and all the other subsequent timelines. So it's a bummer that it drops at 8 a.m. because that's when I start teaching. The bell rings at 8:23. So I don't usually have the time to look for it, but that's okay. I was hoping it started at 8 a.m. Eastern, because that means it's 5 a.m. Pacific. So that means I can usually see it and maybe work on it a little bit before work. But again, free pattern. Don't complain. You can absolutely join right now if you wanted. You'll only be, by the time this goes up, you'll only be like two clues behind, or 2 parts behind, and I don't think it'll be a huge problem. It's really pretty. I'm using some black and white and gray. There are a couple of people at school having babies, so I'm hoping to make some baby blankets for my colleagues. I'm hoping to get back into that. I stopped during the pandemic and when my babies were little, just because I was kind of babied out, but my girls are older than, you know, babies. They're turning 3 and 5 this winter, so I'm feeling like I want to do baby stuff again, not have babies, crochet baby stuff. Very distinct clarification. We're not having any more children. No ma'am, no ma'am. My students always ask me, and I'm like, no, if you think I'm pregnant, it's just a burrito. It's just a big lunch. Absolutely not. So, but anyway, clearly this walk has gotten me mildly out of breath, so maybe I'm not as on the mend as I thought I was. All right, light jog home. See you later. Good morning. It is October 16th. I think I am out on my morning run. It appears darker to me than it actually is, because I am obviously wearing my sunglasses, and you're like, well, just wear your regular glasses, then it won't be so dark. That would make sense. But my regular glasses, I got new ones about 6 months ago, and I don't like the frames. They don't fit my face well. They fall off, so I can't wear them to run, because as soon as my body starts moving, my glasses slide off my face and they just don't stick to it. So I can't wear them to work out very well at all. Like, I lose them entirely. So there's that. But anyway, I am moving on from that. Let's see. So I have whips to talk to you about. Oops. Somebody's motion detector's on. I finished my granny square. Well, I started and finished my granny square chicken last night, and I had this whole plan to make a bunch for my colleagues at work, and it would be like an election day thing because they're all history teachers too. But then it was not that fun to make, and maybe I was using the wrong hook size, but I was finding the red yarn that I was using to be really thick and just hard to work with. It's Red Heart, I think. I'm just finding it really like stiff, and I've noticed that now that I'm thinking about crocheting, why I stopped crocheting in the past. I think it's because I was making another Red Heart blanket, and the working with the yarn was just not fun. It felt sticky and unwieldy, and even going up a larger hook size, just because I was using other acrylic yarn, one that I got from the thrift store, so it's a brand I didn't recognize, and then another one which was like the Karen Simply Soft with the sparkles in it, and those are great and those were easy. So I think it might just be, maybe it's the construction or the structure of Red Heart Super Saver specifically, in the big jumbo ones, that I was like, this isn't fun at all. So I finished the one chicken, and that's all I'm gonna do, because if it's not making you happy, don't do it. So I'll give it to my one friend she's a very knit-worthy person. I think she'll enjoy it. She's also a government teacher. I knit her the Tecumseh sweater last year, and that was super fun. So I'm gonna do that for her, and then if other colleagues mention that they're interested in it, then I might make it for them. But I figure I'll make stuff if people ask for it instead of just like giving it. I also am still working away on my Tranquility blanket. Both designers have been so nice and so like supportive, which is great, because sometimes you do crochet alongs and like the larger designers, like there's a lot of them, so they can't get to everyone, but then you kind of don't feel like you exist. So they've been super nice and super lovely. I'm really liking the pattern. I'm about 4 rows into 12 rows, and the next one comes out tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna fall behind. But it's coming out great. I really like it. I did find out that one of my coworkers, it's confirmed now, that she's pregnant. So I'm excited. I'll make this for her. I've decided that that's my new thing at work is, we don't do like school-wide baby showers. There are a lot of us. There's like 150, 180 of us on staff. So that's like a lot. But I used to make garments, baby garments for my colleagues when they had babies, and then I stopped because I had my own babies and no time. So now I'm doing it again. So I think I've got 2 baby blankets to make this year, and I'm gonna try and make like at least one, so I've got one in stock, so I don't have to panic in case, because I know some people choose to announce late, some people don't choose to announce till after the baby is born, so I want to like be ready. I also think I may have stopped because one of my colleagues was having twins, and I was not prepared to have 2 blankets done. She teaches upstairs with me. She's super sweet. Her boys are like, I think they're younger than my daughter. They're either younger or between my 2 girls, but they're super cute. So that's where I'm with that. Tonight I have a band concert that I have to work, which means I have to clean my classroom to get ready for said band concert, to get all the concessions out from underneath my desk to sell all the concessions, which is kind of a pain. But other than that, I have kind of a chill-ish day, and yeah, that's about it. You'll probably see a little bit of knitting or crocheting. Actually, probably crocheting. I'm going to bring my blanket to school. Yeah, I'm going to bring my blanket to school. Okay, talk to you later. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 17th. I am very late on my morning run because I think I was just chatting with my dad before I went and forgot that I had to go running. So there's that. I am pretty tired today, pretty like low energy, but that's all right. So yeah, I'm kind of like and not really wanting to do all that much, but I figure I will feel better once I am like moving my body around, doing that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's where I am with that. But let me see, whips. I only have one current whip. I am working on the Tranquility blanket, and I just found out the coworker I'm making the blanket for is having a boy, which means I need to pick different colors. It's mostly blacks, whites, and grays, which is fine, but I also had some like pinks and mauves picked out, which pinks and mauves work for a boy, but that's not the colors of her nursery, so that's not going to work out. So I don't know. I think I might, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think I might maybe just leave it the whites and the grays, and that should be all right, and just kind of leave it really neutral. I might see if I can pop like maybe a yellow in, like a good yellow could really like break it up, because I was looking at it and I don't think I have enough yarn. I'm almost positive that I don't, so I'm gonna need to make a different plan to make sure that I do have enough yarn throughout the blanket. And I pulled like 3 pinks that I was like, oh, this will be perfect to add. But my friend just texted me and she's like, oh, she's having a boy and her nursery colors are like, I think they're like a green and like some other color. It's a green, they might be green and gray, something like that. Definitely not pink. So I was like, oh shoot. So, and my other friend who's having a baby doesn't know if it's a boy or girl or her nursery colors either, but she's tends to like really bright colors, so I'm like, this gray palette's probably not going to work out anyway, so I think I need to ditch the pinks and think of something else. But that's all that that's not good news. I didn't crochet very much. Yesterday I thought I was going to get to crochet at the concert, but then we had an issue I had to deal with at the concert. Everything's fine, everyone was safe, but I had to actively be on supervision. Nothing with my students or anything like that, but so I was actively supervising instead of just kind of getting to sit like a bump. But that's all right. My students are having a great time with the lights and learning how to do them. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Today is a fundraiser for my daughter's school. So it's a restaurant profit share. So I am the fundraising chair of the PTO. So I'm going to go set that up and make sure everyone knows and remembers to go. I passed out all the flyers and everything already. And then this week is National Box Tops Week, so I also have to push box tops. And just a busy week. I'm finally feeling better. I think my cold is better. I haven't decided if I'm going to wear a mask to teach or not. I'm probably going to Google how long they're contagious. My rule for myself usually is if you need cold medicine, you need a mask. But I haven't needed cold medicine, so I'm gonna see. I probably will wear a mask today again, but just because I don't want to get my students sick. But we'll see. We'll see what I decide. Because it's not that fun to wear a mask and teach. I did it for 2 years, and it's totally possible. Like I said, I've done it. Just I noticed the connection with my students isn't as great, but that's okay. Gotta do what you gotta do to keep them safe. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Good morning. It is chilly. Oh my gosh, it's super chilly. It is Sunday, October 20th. I'm out on my morning run. Shaylee and Daniel are doing a CrossFit Center workout. Center's the Chris Hemsworth exercise program, but I didn't want to do it. I don't like weight training that much, and it gets kind of crowded with all three of us in our living room trying to do it, and I need to vlog. So here we are. Lots has happened yesterday. Yesterday was a super busy day. So I wanted to vlog in the morning, but then Lottie wanted to go on a bike ride with me in the morning. So first I was running and she was riding her bike, but that didn't work because I couldn't keep up with her because she's really fast. So I couldn't run fast enough to keep up with her. Then we went home to get my bike so I could ride my bike with her. But then my tire was flat. So then Shaylee had to help me pump up my tire. So it took us 45 minutes to go on this half-mile bike ride. So that happened. Then we did a bunch of chores in the morning, and it was just hectic. I didn't get any filming done. And we went to swim lessons, and the girls are on a stagger right now. Lottie's swim lessons are around noon, and Lenny's are 2 hours later. So we spent 3 hours at swim lessons. But it was super exciting because Eleanor has leveled up to her next level in swim lessons, which is great. I'm glad she's getting comfortable in the water. And then I had the Barracuda hockey game with my students in the evening, and they performed. It was super cute. It was super great. But it was kind of stressful because it was opening day for them, and there's a lot of disorganization. I think they didn't have enough people who were in charge of specific things. Our rep, who sold us the tickets and all that stuff, was also in charge of season ticket holders, and also in charge of trying to make sales at the game, turning one day ticket holders into season ticket holders. So he was scrambling to try and get everything done. And then I had all these questions, and I was like, we have never practiced on the ice. My kids don't know what they want to do. We need help. So we got passed off to 4 different reps, and none of the reps seemed to really know there was no a streamlined process for it. So that was tricky. So I wouldn't do the performance again, the performance on the ice again. I wouldn't do it. It was just way too stressful, and it became a whole thing where we had to sell 100 tickets in order to go and be on the ice, but then we didn't sell enough tickets, so I was scrambling, and I just had to send personal emails to a bunch of parents. It was way too much work. But the hockey game itself was really fun. Shaylee liked hockey for like a year now, and now I think I'm a hockey fan too. I'm like, this is so fun. For me, the game is pretty easy to follow. There aren't that many rules. And like when someone breaks a rule, it's pretty obvious. Versus like sometimes in football, I find it hard to understand because a lot of it has to deal with like understanding the signals and the announcements from the refs. And I don't always understand that. So I want to do a hockey, I'm calling it pucks and pearls. I want to do a hockey, basically a stitch and pitch, but hockey. And this is my pitch on why hockey is better than baseball for a stitch and pitch or a pearls and pucks. Number one, hockey is cold, right? Like it's already cold, so it's not uncomfortable to bring your knitwear, right? Like it's not uncomfortable to have a big blanket on your lap, all those things. Number two, hockey is still cold and you can wear your knitwear to the hockey game, whereas baseball season is mostly in the summer and mostly outside, so it's hard to like wear your knitwear and not be completely roasting in it. Number three, hockey is mostly scoring and fighting, so you don't miss as much of the game if you're looking down because everybody cheers and reacts to the fights and the goals. So like the noise cues you into what's happening in the game if you're working on something that you can't look up and knit. Because I noticed in baseball, like it's fast but it's slow, if that makes sense. Like not a lot happens, but if you miss him hitting it or you miss the catch, then kind of miss the most exciting part of the game. But in hockey, fights kind of last some time and you can hear when they're about to make them. So that is why I want to do a pearls and pucks. I looked at the calendar already and there is a hockey game, a Barracuda hockey game at on the Sunday night, the last night of the Bay Area Yarn Crawl in March. It's Sunday, March 23rd at 5 p.m. So I reached out to the organizer of the Bay Area Yarn Crawl and I was like, hey, can I host this like add-on event? I think it would be super fun. Tickets, oh, and here's the other pitch. Tickets, because it's a minor league game, are also very affordable. The tickets for me and my students were $16 a piece. Yeah. So I'm thinking that would be really cool to do. So if you're interested and you're in the Bay Area or you're coming for the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, comment down below and I'll start making a list because I think I'm just going to do it. I think I'm just going to go to the hockey game, even if it's just me and my dad. But I think it'll be a fun end to the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, and those are my reasons why I think it will be just as fun, if not funner, than a stitch and pitch, mainly because there isn't the risk of sunburn. All right, what else? I am working on my tranquility blanket, and it is taking me way longer than I thought it would. I think it is the yarn. The yarn is kind of a pain in the butt to work with, so it's going kind of slow, but that's all right. My goal is just like one row of it a day, so there's that. Chaylee and I'm working on the design that Chaylee and I kind of collabed on. It didn't work out at first. The yarn was too variegated to it was too much of a variegate to see the pattern, but I've adapted it, added some stripes for kind of a varsity jock athletic look to it, and it's actually coming out super cute. So working on that today. That should be coming out super shortly. I'm using Kettle and Hearth Fibers yarn. We are affiliate links. I've forgotten the name of the yarn. I will put it on my Ravelry project page. All right. Also, I think that's it. Oh, and Chaylee and I are going to a Pop of Color in Morgan Hill. It's about a half an hour away for a Sock Sunday knit cast on situation. So we're doing that. We leave shortly at probably around 9:45. And then what else am I doing? Oh, and I've been looking at all the Rhinebeck posts, and there is a new like knit along kind of charity activism, I guess, Instagram page. And it's knit socks for Sam. And you send knit socks to, I want to say maybe it's Virginia, someplace back east. Maybe it's the Carolinas, one of the 13 original colonies, I think. And then your socks are raffled off at a raffle, I think in like the springtime, and all the proceeds from the raffle go to research for vanishing white matter disease, which I didn't look up, so I'm not really sure what it is. But I know they say it's a degenerative, progressive, terminal disease. There's a kiddo named Sam. He's an 8th grader who's living with us. And so I think it's actually organized by his teachers, which I think is awesome. So, and I've got a couple single socks that I just never wanted to make the other one. Like, you know, when you knit a pattern, you're like, ah, this sucks. And then you just don't want to knit the other sock, but you can't gift one sock. Well, now you can, because I think Sam likes to wear mismatched socks. So they're auctioning off socks in mismatched. You can obviously donate pairs and they'll just probably split up the pair. So that's what I'm doing. And that is the cure for second sock syndrome, is you just mail your socks to Knit Socks for Sam, and you don't have to feel guilty about not casting on the second sock if you didn't enjoy the first one, because it is just, it's what is described, I guess it's what's requested. So really, it's a win-win. All right, I've talked for 10 minutes. I have to run for a little bit because Chay's got to get gas and she's driving. She doesn't like when I drive. I drove us home last night from the game. It was dark. I'm a very bad driver. And she was like, turn right now, turn left now. She's like, I should have just drove. And I'm like, oh, probably. But, oh wow, she's driving today for sure. All right, I'll see you later. So I thought that we were going to Sock Sunday at Pop of Color. We're not, because it is for Sunday, November 3rd. Today is Sunday, October 20th. I don't know if I invented that it was on the 20th or if the date got moved and I didn't pay attention. But Chaley's not here on November 3rd, so now I have to invite somebody else. So I'm going to invite my friend Alyssa and see if she wishes to come with me. Whoops. Now I don't know what we're doing this morning.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Yeah, whoops-a-daisies. What are we doing this morning, Chay?
Oh, I'll finish this sock.
Well, now she's got my 9-inch circulars because she lost her other ones.
In your house.
Somewhere in this pit of doom that's my house. Oh, thank you. Lenny's handing me the tripod. She's very
podcast
helpful.
babies.
Yeah. So now Chaley is cooking because she's got a 9-inch circular going for the heel. And the magic loop, I guess, was hard for her.
It took me like 10 minutes to do 3 rows.
Mom,
Yeah.
lie down.
Okay, gotta go. I gotta hook up the tripod, says the child. Hey, what you doing?
Second FO of October.
Woohoo!
Here they are. Only took forever.
Ooh, are those your witch's honor socks?
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice.
But I still have extra, so I'm gonna make a chicken.
Oh, very nice. Oh, look at those cute project bag and yarn cozy you have, Jay.
Oh, thank you for asking. I got them from the Slip Sis Etsy shop, which is currently running a sale.
Ooh, exciting. Except the pink one sold out, so sorry. Very good modeling. Thank you.
you.